Do you know what? I don't have a plan, and maybe that's why it's working because I do love my job in the NHS, and I've been a nurse for 14 years, and I've worked really hard to get to where I am, and I can't really imagine myself not doing that. Um, but at the same time, I'm really enjoying this. And I think what's different about this to the NHS is I'm doing this from home. I can see my family sort of in between clients, because it literally is in the gardens. I can have a cup of tea with them. I can see the kids. It's just different. It's like a completely different work-life balance. So I don't know what my future is going to be. At the minute, I'm kind of just enjoying, we're managing doing both. I think if it gets to that point where this is so busy that I have to make a decision, then I'll make a decision at that point. But for me, it's just continuing to grow this business and see where it goes.
Hi guys, Holly here at Faces. Welcome back to the Face It podcast. Today I'm here with the lovely Jenna from Fallon Aesthetics. Jenna, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast this morning.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. So just to give everybody a little bit of context around where you're at with everything and how you got into the industry, do you want to just sort of give us a little bit of an idea on how your journey has been and how you've got your business to where it is today?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a nurse by background. I still work in the NHS full time. I did my prescribing in about 2019, and ever since I did that, I always thought that this was something I was going to go into. But COVID happened, and it was probably a good thing that I didn't go into this because working in the NHS just like took over my life. I think because so many people were staff were like isolating at home, so you were literally running on hardly any numbers at all. But then obviously kind of life went back to normal a bit, and my husband had a choice after COVID whether he wanted to sort of work from home permanently, or go back to the office, and he chose that he wanted to work from home. So we built this that I'm currently in, and it just kind of felt like the right time, to do it. So I did all my training sort of the beginning of the year, and that's where we are now, to be honest. Like I've been doing it, maybe training sort of started early like January. And yeah, and it's going well.
Amazing. So first of all, you've taken over your partner's office, which I think is great because absolutely, it looks great first of all. But I think having obviously a permanent space is just going to really help boost your business, isn't it? Because you can do it from home. You're not having to travel anywhere, particularly with working in the NHS as well. How are you finding juggling everything? Because obviously running your business and then also working full time, you're a nurse prescriber as well. How is that going for you?
So it's hard. It's really hard. I think you have to really want to do something to do it, because I literally sometimes I work between two different hospitals. So sometimes I'm leaving the house just after 6 in the morning, and then I might not be getting back till about 6:30. And then by the time I'm back, I've got clients booked at 7. And I can be working till like 9. And then you quickly have something to eat, go to bed, and then you wake up and you start again. So it's hard. I've got a young family as well. So yeah, it is difficult trying to juggle everything. But I think when you really want to do something and you really want to make something work, you'll just put in every minute that you have. And I mean, even if I don't have any clients booked in, like me and my husband will be sat there thinking about the business, what can we do next? It's 24/7. But you have to have that passion, don't you?
100%. I think you're so right. Everyone that I speak to, particularly on my podcast, it's pretty much says the same thing. It's so clear when you want something to work and you've got that drive, you've got that why. And I think if no practitioner within this industry will be successful if that's not at the core of you know, what you're doing it for. So what are your
Yeah.
sort of plans in terms of the future then? So are you sort of looking to do it full time? What are your thoughts at the moment?
So if I got a pound for every time someone asked me that question, I'd be so rich I wouldn't need to work at all. Um, do you know what? I don't have a plan, and maybe that's why it's working, because I do love my job in the NHS, and I've been a nurse for 14 years, and I've worked really hard to get to where I am. And I can't really imagine myself not doing that. But at the same time, I'm really enjoying this. And I think what's different about this to the NHS is I'm doing this from home. I can see my family sort of in between clients, because it literally is in the garden. So, you know, I can have a cup of tea with them. I can see the kids. It's just different. It's like a completely different work-life balance. So I don't know what my future is going to be. At the minute, I'm kind of just enjoying, we're managing doing both.
Yeah.
I think if it gets to that point where this is so busy that I have to make a decision, then I'll make a decision at that point. But for
Yeah.
me, it's just continuing to grow this business and see where it goes. And the thing is, if I don't build myself up, I won't get disappointed.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think it's obviously, like you say, such a big decision to make if you are sort of faced with that, where you're like, I'm having to turn clients away constantly. I just don't have the time. I'm stressed. I'm tired. I want to see my family more. You know, those
Yeah.
are sort of the things which will probably be running through your head at points. But yeah, I think, yeah, just see what happens. And, you know, it sounds like, you know, you're loving
I
what you're
know.
doing as well as working in the NHS. So yeah, we'll just have to see, obviously. With regards to building your client base then, how's that been for you? Because normally what I find when I speak to practitioners is it's quite difficult. First of all, you know, you have to literally be like social media 24/7, posting, talking about it. And obviously with you working a full-time job at the same time, what has worked for you in terms of actually getting clients in?
So I'm really lucky that my husband helps me do this. If it wasn't for him, like it would never work. Because he's quite tech savvy. So he will do like the social media and things like that. So I don't have to do everything myself. Now,
Yeah.
how we've kind of built our client base, when we started, we did things like leaflet dropping. And again, like, I said to like my son and my niece and nephew, like, do you guys want to go out and, drop some leaflets? And they found things like that exciting. So, and I just thought, brilliant,
Yeah.
like, gets them out the house and they're
Give them
doing
a
me a
fiver.
favor. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so we did things like that. And then social media obviously like picked up a few people, and then I've had like quite there was like a hairdresser down the road, and she came for a consultation, and then you know what hairdressers are like, they're talking to everybody. And so to be honest, like my client base has probably come from word of mouth,
Yeah.
which I've been like really, really lucky.
Yeah.
So like, someone around the like one of the neighbours have heard that I'm doing it, and then they'll speak to such and such who then speaks to, and it's just
Yeah.
I've actually been really, really lucky.
Yeah.
So
You know
word
what?
of mouth,
Yeah.
social media, and a few leaflets.
Yeah, I think what you mentioned about your husband helping you as well is a really good point. You know, I think when I speak to practitioners like yourself who've got that support, whether it be a friend, a business partner, whatever, it just takes that pressure off, doesn't it? When you've got someone who can really support you and also like believes in what you're doing. I think that's so important to give you that confidence. But also I think you're the first person I've spoken to ever who's mentioned leaflets, and I feel like people
Oh
just
really?
yeah, people just don't think about that anymore. So guys, if anyone's watching, like, don't just stick to your social media, get some leaflets printed, put them in local salons, put them in I don't know, if you've got a gym notice board.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's someone could pick that up and they're then having a conversation with a friend and they go like, oh, I've just found this, like, you know, why don't you have a look into it? especially with it being
Yeah,
your house
definitely.
as well, with your, like you say, your neighbors love talking, don't they? So it's,
Yeah,
again,
yeah, yeah. Neighborhood
perfect.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like so like other things we've done is like, so once we kind of made like a leaflet, like our daughter, she'll be 3 in January and she goes to nursery. So when we went to nursery, we were like, would you mind putting this up in the staff room? And they're like, yeah, sure, no worries. And then obviously at work, I can put it up in the staff room and just things like that, like the way I kind of look at it, if you drop 100 like or 200 leaflets and you get 2 clients, those 2 clients can then talk to their friends.
Yeah.
And I actually have had people that have come from the leaflets and they're still coming now. And then they've spoken to their friends and then their friends come. So yeah, the old traditional ways also
Yeah.
do still work.
100%, because as well, yeah, you can put a post on Instagram within 0.1 seconds that scrolled past. If someone
Yeah,
drops a leaflet through your door, you might not necessarily read it, but you'll put it on the side and it'll be something that you look at. It's going to be there. Whereas a
definitely.
post, so disposable. People spend hours and hours making amazing reels and posts, and they're literally scrolled past in a matter of seconds and then forgotten about. So you're so
Yeah.
like, it's quite sad actually, isn't it? How leaflets used to be like the thing of how to advertise, and now it just really isn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, great
Yeah.
idea. And also, like, yeah, it's just weird that no one does that anymore. But guys, I think you should all get some leaflets, get your nieces and nephews and your kids to go
Yeah.
around their local.
Free labor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So moving on to your treatments then, Jenna. So do you want to just talk a little bit about what treatments your clients are loving at the moment, and also what treatments you really like to perform?
So I did when I started, I did all kind of like the basic, the foundation, the advanced, like dermal fillers and sort of Botox and things like that. So I've done all that. I think all the standard like 3 areas of anti-wrinkle, I think that's still popular, and I think that's going to be popular for a long time.
Yeah.
What's particularly sort of probably quite hot in my clinic at the minute is like the lemon bottle fat dissolvers. Everybody's kind of jumping on that wagon at the minute.
Yeah.
So that's like very, very popular at the minute.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, probably skin boosters, that kind of thing. I've just started doing skin boosters. So I think they're probably the most popular things at the minute. But I do have some new exciting things coming through.
Amazing. Can you tell us, or are you keeping it a secret?
Yeah. No, 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 no. I haven't actually advertised or anything yet. But so radio frequency microneedling.
Yeah. Again, that's like, I don't, do you know what? I actually don't know too much about it, but everyone's doing it and everyone's being like, it's literally insane. So
Yeah. So like you get like the kind of standard microneedling, but then when you mix it in with radio frequency, like it's quite different and the results are amazing. So
yeah,
like my machine arrived yesterday, so that was like Christmas for me.
amazing.
To be honest, all the parcels that come through, I'm like, oh, it's Christmas. Like it feels like Christmas every single day. Um, but yeah, that arrived yesterday, so I'm really excited because I've spoken to like a few people, like some of my clients that are coming through, like, would you be interested? And a lot of them have said, yeah, definitely, that's something I'd be interested in. So I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes.
Amazing. And using it on yourself as well. Get some nice.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm taking it to bed with me.
Yeah. Wait, so if right, just so I've got this right. So the radio free, I know obviously what a microneedling pen looks like. How's
Yeah.
it? So what does the machine look like? Have you got it there? Can you show me?
Oh, so it's in the house because I
Yeah.
need to set it up and everything. But it's basically like it's like a big machine. So you have like all sort of different settings, and then you have like the micro needling kind of like probe like
Okay.
attached to it. So
Yeah.
you can do things like acne scarring, cellulite. If you look at like hyperhidrosis, whereas like you can use obviously Botox for that, but
Yeah.
with this machine, you do it without toxins.
Seriously.
So
Oh my God.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So like the way I kind of, like some people want to move away from like Botox and things like that. And if you can have treatments but still have the same effect without putting any toxins like in your body, some people are gonna jump at that.
100%. And do you know what? It's the skin treatments like radio frequency microneedling in this case, your skin boosters, that kind of thing. They're like maintenance treatments, which are just going to make your
Yeah,
clients dermal filler or toxin treatments just be better. Because
yeah,
I think a lot of the time, clients kind of think that getting dermal filler and Botox is like a quick fix. It's like, oh, I'll go get my Botox. But if they're not looking after their skin, the results of the
yeah,
actual treatments are not going to be as good as they could be.
yeah,
And I think they're just all year round treatments as well, aren't they? So, you
yeah,
don't
yeah,
have
yeah,
to...
definitely.
Sorry, go on.
No, no, no. I was just gonna say, and like with the radio frequency microneedling, you can use like the skin boosters alongside. So you can kind of, so rather than injecting the skin booster, you kind of lay it with on the skin, like on the skin, and
Yeah.
then you use the machine to kind of like penetrate within.
So it's still going
So
into the skin, just not as obviously deep as an injection.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing. You'll
So
have to let me
yeah.
know how
So
you
I'm
get
looking forward
on
to
with
that.
that. That's exciting. And just moving on to lemon bottle, obviously, like it's just gone insane. Like and obviously it's been around for a little while, but I swear the last 2 weeks it's just gone. It's blown up. I can guarantee if I open my phone now, I'll see a lemon bottle post. Like everyone's
Yeah,
talking about it. I've also spoken to some people who are like, oh, it's not been out long enough, I'm gonna hold off, like, you know, I need to do research and that kind of thing, because obviously it is quite new. Have you sort of looked into it and compared it to other fat dissolvers?
so yeah, I think the one thing that kind of like stands out that makes it quite different to others is that you really don't get that swelling that you do with things like, well, some of the other fat
Yeah,
dissolvers.
yeah,
Um, so so you could, for example, you could come in and you could have treatment and you could go away and nobody would be sort of none the wiser.
yeah,
And I think that's what's different. Also bruising, to be honest. There's, like you can do like a 360 on a client. So they literally do full abdomen, like the bra area, love
yeah,
handles. And I've had people come back and they've got like one bruise. And you think, God, I injected like so many times,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you literally have one bruise. And I think that's what's different about it. There just isn't the kind of after effects that there are with some of the other ones.
Yeah. Especially when if you're getting like this area injected, I think if it was me, I've not had the treatment myself, but if I was going to get a fat dissolving treatment, I'd be put off by the fact that my face would then swell up. Because
Yeah,
even though it's not going to be like that forever, it's just not practical, is it? Like you can't like go into the office when you've got like, you want to be
I
able
know.
to get a treatment, like you say, which isn't obvious when it's something like that. You
Yeah.
don't
So
want to
you
then...
can like,
Yeah, go on.
no, I was just gonna say, so you can like pop out in your lunch break and you can have it and
Yeah.
go back to the office and nobody would know.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, everyone's going crazy for it, and I'm interested to see what other trends are going to be coming out, because because I feel like as well, I was thinking about this in the shower this morning. Obviously there's been an Ozempic shortage, so people just simply can't get hold of the pens. But I kind of feel like people have almost forgotten about Ozempic now, and they're just like obsessed with lemon bottle. But obviously they're completely different. It's a prescription, obviously. But it was like at one point it was like, oh my God, Ozempic's the thing. Da 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 da. Then like people can't get hold of it. Everyone's stressing for a bit, and then oh, lemon bottles here. Like, so I'm just interested to see kind of what other trends we get in the next 6 to 12 months, just because it's so like fast moving. Just on
Yeah,
that
yeah. And then
as well.
once somebody starts doing it, everybody's doing it.
Yeah, 100%. But I also think, like you've said, you've been speaking to your clients, like, would you be interested in this treatment? I think a lot of practitioners feel the need to be like, oh my God, so and so across the road is like doing this, so I need to do that. but it's like, actually talk to your clients. It might be a popular treatment with a lot of clinics, but are your specific clients going to be interested in that treatment? You know, if your client base is predominantly like 18 to 25-year-old, like young women, you know, is something like lemon bottle going to be of interest? Like, so yeah, I think it's really important to actually just analyze the demographic of your clients and not feel pressured into training in absolutely everything, for sure, because I think a lot of people do, they feel that kind of pressure with social media.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say, do you know what? The one thing that I've learned the most in kind of this industry is like is do you, and like be you, because all those, all the people you're following on Instagram, you're following them because they've already made it. They're already successful. That's why they've popped up on your feed. So like don't think that you have to be them. You have to remember, like, and I had to keep telling myself, like when I started, I'd go on Instagram and I'd be like, oh my God, they've got so many clients and they're so busy. And I'm like, but I literally started like yesterday.
Yeah.
So you need to remember that they also started somewhere at some point. And
Oh,
so like find what's different. So for me, I kind of like looked around the area, what were people doing and what were people not doing?
yeah.
And that's, you want to be different. You don't want to just follow what everybody's doing. But like you said, look at your client base. My client base is not young. I rarely have anybody who comes in who's like 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
The majority of sort of clients that I have are like 40s, 50s. So, it is talking to them. What do they want? I'm not 20s, I'm mid 30s. And, I'm also thinking about what do I want? And actually, that's why kind of like the radio frequency microneedling is like
Yeah.
important to like me and my clients, because we are that little bit older. So it's finding treatments that work for you and
Yeah.
your clients.
Then yeah, I think that's a really good point you made around, looking at what people aren't doing as well, because you need to remember, like, if a person or a client finds an injector that they really like, they love their work, they build that relationship, they're not going to just then randomly switch to somebody else. Like,
Yeah.
people these days look for a practitioner who they can have that journey with. It's not just like a one-time thing a lot of the time. So
Yeah.
if you're expecting people to like just change and come to you all of a sudden, that's not going to happen. Do you do, with regards to your social media then, do you find that doing like talking posts and reels and that kind of thing are working for you? Because I've heard from other practitioners that that's really helped with getting clients through the door.
Yeah, so I actually haven't done much like talking. I haven't kind of put myself out there too much yet. Maybe because that's not comfortable for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean to say that in the future I won't, and I will start to try. But I think kind of, like being a nurse for so long, like it's not normal for me to sit behind a camera and like and talk to it.
Yeah.
And then I watch it back and I'm like, oh God, no, absolutely not. I'm not putting that out there. So I think I will get braver and I think I will start doing things like that. Um, but at the minute, yeah, probably the reels are working well, and I just kind of use them to advertise my products and results and things like that. And then, yeah, I think you do need to talk. I think you do need to get your face out there. I just need to be a little bit more comfortable with doing that.
Yeah, and you'll get that. I think even coming on this podcast is like a big step if it's not something you're used to. Um,
Yeah, definitely.
but I definitely think that people certainly buy into people as well. So obviously, a client will come to you because they like the look of your work and your kind of your business. But I think also it's finding an injector that they feel comfortable with. And I think a lot of the time when clients are looking at different practitioners, if someone's posting like kind of talky videos, like educational stuff, like that can really help with getting them through the door. But like you say, it is a big step when it's not something you're used to. But I'm sure, I've no doubt that you'll get there, and it'll become something which you maybe do enjoy doing as well. But just
Yeah.
just moving on to the Faces app then, Jenna. So obviously you use Faces, so thank you. And you also are one of our prescribers on Faces as well. So if anyone is looking for a new prescriber, you can search for Jenna on the search prescriber section. Do you want to just give us a bit of insight into how Faces has helped with the organisation of your business, and also what features you like to use as well?
Yeah, so I actually got recommended Faces by my insurance company. And then early days, I did actually have a conversation with you, Holly. You probably speak to so many people, but you were really, honestly, so helpful. Because I think once you do your training, yes, they are there for support if you need them, but you kind of you're on your own. It's kind of like off you go. And what I found really helpful with Faces is kind of like networking. So I'm speaking to so many different people who have supported me, but also I now feel it's maybe reversed a little bit. So I'm supporting other people, especially being a prescriber.
Yeah.
I have lots of sort of girls like message me questions, oh, this client's come in, what do you think? Do you think it's safe? Do you not? Even if it's nothing to do with like an actual prescription, it could just
Yeah.
be, and actually sometimes I feel like I work from IT as well, because the girls would be like, oh, I don't know how to work the app. So then I just take time to sort of show them how to use it. I mean, Faces has been really helpful as well. Every time I've had like an IT problem or anything, like you are very, very responsive, which is good. But yeah, it's been really helpful sort of networking, getting to know people, and like it's easy. So for like my business, like having all the consent forms already done was like an absolute lifesaver,
Yeah.
because the thought of having to write all those consent forms was probably enough to put me off.
I always say that. Like, if I always say to people, like, I'm not a practitioner myself, but if I just trained and then I had to literally write out disclaimers and consent forms and aftercare, like, I'd be like, well, it's probably wrong, so there's no point me even doing it. Like,
But yeah, I mean, so that has been like, yeah, an absolute lifesaver, because everything's there already for you. It's like a one stop, isn't it? Because you can go on there to order your stock, you can go on there to network, it's got a calendar, you can use the calendar for your clients, you can send your consent forms. I mean, I use it every single day. It's like my toothbrush. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's something you just use every single day, and you would never forget to not use it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found it amazing.
Oh, thank you so much. I always, when someone says like nice things about Faces, I always feel like a proud mum. I'm like, it is good, isn't it? And I'm not even
You
biased.
should
Like,
be proud.
oh, thank you. No, I don't. Obviously, I don't even use it day to day because I don't have a need to. But I'm not even biased. Like, it is a fantastic software. Like, it really, really is. And it's so nice to hear like nice testimonials about it, because we're always trying to be better, develop the app better. The feedback we take on from practitioners is what drives the development team. So
Yeah.
we don't just kind of guess what people want. We genuinely will. Someone might say like, oh, it'd be really good to have this, and then that, if it's something that we think other people would benefit from, we will make it happen. So thank you so much, really appreciate that. Okay, so obviously, Jenna, you are a prescriber, and if I'm being honest, I would say, regarding like regulation, you're obviously in a very good position, having done your prescribing and have a background in nursing. What are your thoughts on the kind of everything that's been released on regulation at the moment, and kind of what people are saying and the traffic light system?
So I think regulation is a good thing. Um, especially kind of being a nurse, I'm regulated, and if you go into, no matter which hospital I work within, I have done sort of agency before, so I've worked at lots of different hospitals. You go in, there is an expectation. You are expected to sort of work one way. You know, we're all registered with sort of like Nursing Midwifery Council, and we have CQC come in and, you know, make sure that, you know, basically you're doing what you should be doing, and that it's safe. For me, I think it's important because we want the general public to be safe.
Yeah.
Um, you know, there is sometimes a bad reputation in this industry, and it's you want to move away from that. You want it to be a good reputation. Um, I guess my concern, I've looked at the traffic light system, and I think it's probably quite accurate,
Yeah.
which is good. I think I would move like one or two things, but generally, I think it's quite accurate. I guess the concern is how are they going to regulate? You know, because you do have a lot of people doing things in their spare bedroom and stuff like that. And how is that going to be regulated?
Yeah, definitely. Because I think it's obvious that even when regulation comes in, there's still going to be dodgy things happening. You know, if someone's currently doing it in their kitchen using unlicensed toxins, they're not then going to go, all regulations come in, I'm now going to go get a premises to get licensed. You know, it's
Yeah,
that's
it's not
not
going to
going to
happen.
change. So I think that has to be taken into consideration that yes, this is for patient safety to ensure that practitioners are operating at the same level and, you know, safely. But also, is that then going to increase what's going on behind closed doors, because people might not have the money to do the qualifications and licensing? And so yeah, I think it's, yeah, how is it going to work is definitely a question which I think everyone is wondering. But yeah, we'll just have to see, won't we? But obviously I would say you're
Well,
certainly in a good position, having been done your prescribing, and obviously you can prescribe everything you need for your clients as well. Just to finish on a positive note then, Jenna, what is there like a moment or a situation that's happened since you started doing your aesthetics where you think, do you know what, I'm so proud of like what I've managed to build alongside working in the NHS?
yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I think because I had no expectations, you know, I had no plan. It was literally, this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Okay, let's do it. And maybe I am a bit of a spontaneous person. You know, like I am proud that me and my husband have actually done it, you know, like, and that we have clients coming through the door. And it definitely is a lot busier than I thought it was going to be. You know, I thought I might get one or two a month.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm getting like one or two a day. And it's, yeah, so I just generally feel proud that we've actually done it
Yeah.
alongside both having full-time jobs, having a young family, doing the school run, doing the nursery run, you know, like just yeah, just actually just doing it.
Yeah.
That's what,
Yeah.
yeah,
Amazing.
is probably the proudest thing.
Yeah, incredible. Because I bet like a year ago, you just wouldn't have even kind of thought that you'd be even just sat in a little hut in your garden talking about
No.
what you've succeeded in. So huge congratulations. I'm excited to see where things go with you over the next kind of 6 to 12 months. But thank you very much for being a Loyal Faces user, and thank you for coming on the podcast. I've loved speaking with you. It's been a great start to the morning. And I'm glad that you came on and you've maybe stepped out of your comfort zone a little bit as well.
Thank you for having me,
That's
and
fine,
of course,
lovely.
like thanks for the app. Like the app's amazing. That's perfect. Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
All right, thanks, lovely. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.